I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make my Italian potato salad. It is super delicious and it's so good for you and you don't have to feel guilty about eating it. It's colorful, it's fresh, it's full of flavor and you're going to love it. And the great thing about this, we're going to put a little twist to it. We're going to actually grill the potatoes. So it's like a grilled potato salad. How awesome is that? Let's go over the ingredients to get started. You're going to need some potatoes, peeled, fresh fennel, cherry tomatoes, red onion, Kalamata olives, Sicilian green olives, some homemade salsa verde, red wine vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, salt, and pepper. Now, the salsa verde I made on a different episode, if you guys remember. If you want to go check it out, just go ahead and click on that episode. It's just a salsa verde made of parsley, lemon juice, Dijon mustard, capers, olive oil. It's super fresh, super healthy, and it's really delicious and quick to make. And that's going to substitute what would be like a mayo dressing for more traditional American potato salad. In Italy, we really don't eat a lot of mayo, so I didn't grow up eating mayo. And every time there was any kind of salad like this around, it was just served with extra virgin olive oil, vinegar, or olive oil, or lemon juice, sorry. But I'm using my salsa verde. I think it's a fantastic idea. Okay, so what I'm going to do is before we cook our potatoes, before we grill our potatoes, we need to cook them. Otherwise, so if we put them on the grill like this, they'll get char marks on the outside, but they won't be cooked on the inside. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting them into coins because these are rather small potatoes. But if they were bigger, you were to cut them into like chunks. And what I'm going to do is my little trick of cooking them in the microwave. Because that way, about 10 minutes, they'll be fully cooked through. And all we have to do is finish them off on the grill to give them that nice charred, smoky grill flavor. And to give them those grill marks. So I'm just going to toss them with a little bit of olive oil. And then put them on a single layer on a microwave-safe plate and pop them in the microwave for 10 to 12 minutes or until when you insert your knife into the center of one of them, it comes out completely easy with no resistance, and then you know it's done. Now I just drizzled these with a little olive oil, put them on a plate in the microwave for about 10 minutes, and this is how you know they're done. In and out without any resistance. Now since these already have oil on them, make sure you have your preheated grill pan nice and hot because these are going to go right on there for literally about a minute on each side. Hear that sizzle? For about a minute or two on each side until they get nice grill marks, and then we're going to remove them to a plate and finish the whole thing up. I took my potatoes off the grill, and now that they're really hot, I'm just going to sprinkle them with a little bit of salt because when they're hot, they absorb the salt the best. So set those aside to cool for about 5 minutes, and while that happens, I'm going to cut the rest of my veggies. Now I'm using fennel. Fennel is a very popular ingredient in Italian cooking. It's very licoricey tasting. I absolutely love it, but if you don't like it, by all means, you don't have to use it. And I'm just kind of cutting them just like that. I want everything to be in big, bite-sized pieces, kind of like half-moon shapes. And I'm going to do the same exact thing to the onion. That's good with the onion. I just don't want it to overpower, so I'm only going to use a tiny bit. But you know, all these ingredients, it's completely up to you. Whatever you have on hand. If you don't like red onion, then use red onion. If you don't like fennel, don't use fennel. Use whatever you have on hand. Red pepper, celery, scallions, you name it. If you don't like olives, don't put olives in them. I'm a huge olive eater, so I'm going to put in some Kalamata olives and just cutting them in half. And these are pitted, of course. And then at my salad bar, I was able to find some Sicilian olives that were marinated with some hot pepper flakes. So I'm going to use a handful of that too. And all I'm doing to the Kalamata olives, I'm going to cut them in half. But because the Sicilian olives are bigger, I'll show you what one. I'm going to cut mine just like so. That's enough. I'm going to put those in my bowl. And then I'm just going to go ahead and quarter I'm going to halve my cherry tomatoes. I like them in big chunky pieces. So that's perfect. I'm just going to do maybe about a half to 3/4 of a cup of those and just half them. Add that right in. Now we are going to lightly season our veggies. Not too much because the olives are salty. The salsa verde is definitely seasoned already. But you know, we just don't want to neglect anything or leave anybody behind. Here we go. Now to this, we're just going to add our grilled potatoes. It's just beautiful. You know it's going to be good for you. And the potatoes are slightly warm still, so they're going to really absorb the salsa verde. which is going to smell ridiculously good the moment it hits the potatoes. And then I'm just going to drizzle a little extra vinegar, just because I like it a bit more vinegary, but that's completely optional. So now just gently toss this whole thing together. That looks so incredibly perfect, I can't even describe it. It smells delicious. Now, you can serve this right away and it will be delicious, but take it a step further. I'm gonna cover it, put it in the fridge for about an hour for everything to just kind of get to know each other and those potatoes to absorb all the flavors from salsa verde and the rest of the veggies, and it's gonna be 10 times better. But for now, I do wanna give it a quick taste because I'm just so excited. I want a little bit of everything. I want an olive, and I want a piece of fennel and a potato and tomato. If you're anything like me, or you love a lot of fresh flavor, something you don't have to feel guilty about eating, you're gonna love this salad. And the best thing about it too, it is absolutely portable. You don't have to worry about keeping it out and going bad because there's no mayo in it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed spending time with me. Please go to www.laureninthekitchen.com to get this recipe and others. For now, I'm gonna go back to eating, and I'll see you next time. Bye.